Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admins, and the message, it reads like this. Hello, my brother, how are you? Can you please post my own confession as hidden identity? There is something that I have been keeping in my heart. So I took someone's husband, and this is what karma did this to me. I am even ashamed to admit it, but I did made a very terrible mistake. I was lonely at that time, and I didn't know where my life was really headed to. Then I let my desires, my darkest desires, cloud my judgment. I then met someone who was charming, and I fell for him really hard. But he was already married, and I knew that this guy, he was already married. I tried to convince myself that it was okay, that he was unhappy in his marriage, and that I was saving him from a loveless relationship. But deep down, I knew I was just justifying my own selfish desires. I took someone's husband away from her, and I totally destroyed her family. I can't imagine how she must have felt, how she must still feel. I am haunted by the thought of her pain and her betrayal. I know I cannot undo what has been done, but I hope that by confessing my mistake, I can start to make amends. I hope that she can find it in her heart to forgive me someday, and I hope that I can learn to forgive myself. 20 years have passed since I made that fateful mistake. I thought I had moved on, that I had learned from my error and was living a new life, but the consequences of my actions still linger on. They still haunt me each and every day. My own children, 6 of them, are grown now, but none of them are successful. They struggle with their own personal demons, their own regrets, and their mistakes. They are a reminder that the consequences of my actions are far-reaching, that the pain I caused all of those years ago, they still resonate today. I look at them and I see the reflection of my own failures. I see the choices that I made, the mistakes that I committed. I see the pain that I caused, the love that I destroyed. I thought I had given them everything, every opportunity to succeed, but I realize now that I was so blinded by my own guilt and shame that I couldn't see the damage that I was doing. I could not see that my own children, they were suffering, that they were paying the price for my mistakes. I am left with a bitter taste of regret, the knowledge that I failed my own children. I failed to give them the one thing that they needed the most, a stable, loving family. And now it is too late. The damage was done. The consequences are now very clear. All I can do is pray that someday they will find their own path, their own success, and that somebody, they will forgive me for my mistake. I hope that one day they are going to forgive me for all of my mistakes. But amidst my own children's struggles, I am reminded of the 2 children of the lady whose husband I took away. They are grown now, and despite not having the benefits of higher education, they are thriving, they are successful, happy, and they are content with what they have. I see the hand of God in their lives, blessing them despite the pain and suffering that I caused in their family. I see the love and grace of God shining through in their smiles, their laughter, their accomplishments. It's a stark contrast to my own children's struggle, and it's a harsh reminder that God indeed is just. He sees all, knows all, and rewards each and everyone accordingly. I am humbled by the realization that my own selfish desires and actions were not blessed by God, but by the faithfulness and perseverance of the lady and her children. In the end, it was not the educated or the privileged who succeeded, but the ones who held on to God's hand. It is a lesson I will never forget, a reminder that evil may seem to prosper for a time, for a short period of time, but in the end, God's justice and love will always prevail. I thought that once I had him, once we were together, once we had moved in with each other, our marriage was going to be always be blissful, but it was never meant to be. The guilt and shame of what we had done hung over us like a dark cloud. There was no more happiness, always present, always suffocating us, this sadness. We tried to ignore it, to pretend that it did not exist, but it seeped into every aspect of our relationship. We fought constantly, our love turning to bitter resentment. We could not escape the fact that our marriage was built on betrayal and deceit. I realized too late that I had not only hurt the other woman, but I had also hurt myself. I had sacrificed my own integrity, my own self-respect for a love that was never meant to be. Our marriage was nothing but a sham, a facade hiding the rot of our own selfish desires. And in the end, it was not the love that had brought us together, but the lust for something that we could never truly have. Happiness built on the pain of others. But the lady whose husband I took away, she chose a different path. She waited upon the Lord, pouring out her heart in prayer, seeking comfort in his presence. She never remarried, never sought to replace the love that she had lost. Instead, she dedicated her life to serving God. And to think that this woman was someone that I knew very well. She knew that this is what I had done, but she never even came to me one day to accuse me of stealing her husband. It was as if she had just accepted. When I saw that she had accepted everything, I actually thought that I was the one who was really clever, more clever than she was, for I had stolen a husband. But she used all of that pain to minister to others who had suffered similar betrayals. Yet, despite her faithfulness, her life remained a lonely one. The ache of her loss still lingered on. The depression, I'm sure, that I caused her, I think it was following her over her days. She continued to suffer, continuing to feel the weight of her cross, but she carried it with grace and dignity. Her faith remained unshaken, and her trust in God, I could see that it was even more than the trust that she had when she was still married to the man that I was now staying with. Oh, how I wish I could go back in time and advise my younger self to never take that first step down the path of deceit and betrayal. But when I was really young, I thought that the whole world evolved around me because there were a lot of men that were chasing after my beauty. So I thought that it was far much better to steal her husband, since amongst all of the men that I was dating, he was the one who had a lot of money, and there was another guy who was single. But this guy, even though he was working, but he did not have a lot of money compared to the man that I started staying with. I regret the pain that I caused and the years that I wasted. But that if you listen to my story, and if you are currently dating a married man, you need to let go of that man. Yes, I know that you might have invested a lot in that relationship, but you need to know that he is not yours. He belongs to someone. Just imagine the pain that the woman will be feeling the moment that she knows that her husband is dating another woman. Tomorrow it might be you. For this has happened to me. Do not be fooled like I was with my beauty. The temporary highs of sin are not worth the long-term consequences. You can never have peace if you steal someone's husband, and you will always be thinking about it. You'll keep on thinking about how he used to run away from his wife so that he can come and sleep over at your place. Whenever he is out, you will always think that maybe he is with a prostitute or with one of his girlfriends. You will never know peace if you get married to a man that you would have stolen from another woman. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admins. Strange things do happen in this world. Please let us speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Yo,